Good morning. I'm Attorney Aaron Sogilon. I'm a graduate of philosophy at Ateneo de Manila University, and then I finished my law school in Arellano University. I'm a private practitioner since I passed the bar exams. But before that, and until today, I've been working with my mother, who is also a lawyer. So all my experience, aside from mine, I adopted the experience of my mother. So I took advantage of her experience now. So that's what we do.
Say something about your mom.
My mom, Attorney Attorney Polly, known as Attorney Polly Sogilon, used to be a lawyer for the Supreme Court under Justice Relova and Justice Ericta. During the time when the Supreme Court is they call it the golden age of the Supreme Court. Even at the time of Marcos, when there was a dictator, they fight against the president. They're not dictated upon, unlike what we experience today. So it's very different those days. She's also the author of the snap elections. Backstory of the snap elections. There were two decisions for the snap elections, and then President Marcos was playing with the Supreme Court. So, depending on the survey, he will tell them, oh, make it constitutional, or then make it unconstitutional. So, once and for all, nagalit yung Supreme Court. So, what they did is, they made it constitutional. The reasoning was, it was the people's call, and nobody is higher than the people, even the Constitution, because as the preamble says, all government authority, sovereignty resides in the people, and all government authority emanates from them. That's what we follow now. In free societies, it is always the people who is higher than the government, because the people make up the state. We just need the territory, we just need the government, but we need the people more than anybody. Okay. So that's my background. That's the background of my mother. So I was her assistant since I was in elementary. She's a hands-on lawyer. That's what I became too. We focus on helping the country. So sabi niya, I don't have to work for another law firm or the government, even with offers. We have to focus on helping the country because we're already blessed. And I think this is the promise of God. He will provide everything you need. So if you envision yourself as needing something for your family, He will give you a small amount. That's enough for your family. So if you plan big, plan for the country, He will bless you thousands of folds because that's what you need. So He will provide us what we need. So you have to envision yourself bigger than yourself. If you want to be rich, if you want to be blessed, you have to envision yourself bigger than yourself, bigger than your family, bigger than your immediate community. So ganun, and He has been faithful to us the way we are to Him. So ganun din, sana ma-imbibe din natin lahat yan. Even at the last minute, minsan ganun yung Diyos. It's not our time. The thing with the Lord is, you have to be really, really patient. If you think it's hopeless already, it's not. Kasi I remember one anecdote, that's why ganito ako mag-isip kasi nung bata ako, I always panic. Sabi ko kay mama, may deadline. Sabi ko, ma, 3 hours na lang. Paano yan? Di pa natin we have to save some property of the client. 3 hours na lang, wala pa yung money. Sabi niya, mahaba pang oras. Because in a split second, a living person can die. Split second. So anything can happen, during those 3 hours. Marami pang pwedeng mangyari. And it's true. Laging ganon. Minsan, God will pull time for you. So yun. Why I'm saying this? I want to follow the direction of Sir Nick Perlas, in when I arrived, to be laser focused. The reason why we panic or we make the wrong decisions is because we don't have a focus of what we want to achieve. We don't have a focus of what our rights are, or what is the correct way of doing things. If we don't educate ourselves, we will be bombarded with with things like emotions, no? Gagalitin ka, tatakutin ka, tatarantahin ka, and then if you panic, you will make the wrong decisions. So what is the framework that we should follow if we want to stay calm and make the right decision, not just individually but as a country? We have to find something that is a common ground even to our enemies, and that is the Constitution. No? It's not my favorite subject now when I was in law school, but it has proven itself to be very useful in real life, not just as a lawyer, but even as an ordinary citizen. No? To tell you frankly, mataas yung batting average ng ginawa natin na grave coercion forms. In this time of pandemic, maraming mga constitutional violations ang nangyayari sa tao, no? They violate our rights. These protocols, no? These pronouncements by the mayors, governors, especially the president, and it panics us, no? No, tinataranta tayo and we make the wrong decisions. Sometimes at the risk of our life, no? At the expense of our lives, no? Even if we don't know the science behind the vaccine, we should take time, no, to assess first before jumping into something that we don't understand. That's basic rule, no? Let's not argue about the science behind it, but we should not be coerced to doing something that we're not fully aware of. No, it's a responsibility that we have to ourselves. No, before we jump into something, we have to understand it first. Now, this is a lecture on the Constitution and our legal strategies during this time of pandemic. You have to understand first, what is the Constitution? The Constitution is a contract. It's a contract we have with one another, with our government, and with other countries. So kontrata siya. Think of it as any ordinary contract, no? You have to abide by it. So susundin niyo yung pinag-usapan. Even kahit hindi tayo signatory dyan, it represents us, no? In the contract, the participants are the people and the government, especially in the Bill of Rights. In the government, you have to understand that each one of us play a role. For example, if we talk about the executive department, that means the president and all the departments, no? Even the governors and mayors, they're executive. Ibig sabihin nun, they execute laws. Ibig sabihin, pinapatupad nila yung batas, no? So, who makes the law? The law is made by the Congress and the Senate. Pero in the barangay level or in the local government units is the sanggunian. So they are lawmakers. That's their role. Okay. It's important to remember these roles. What about the judges and the justices? So sila yung judiciary. They decide if a law and a fact, for example, if a law is being violated or not. So they're the one who assess that. They put an end to an argument when it comes to law. Okay, why are these things important? We have to remember that politicians have a role to perform. They have to follow their job descriptions. So if you're a senator, what are your jobs? No? If you're a president, ano yung job mo? The same with judiciary. Saan ngayon tayo bilang ordinary citizen? We should understand that between an ordinary citizen and the government is powerful. Makapangyarihan siya. And the Constitution recognizes that. That's why we have the Bill of Rights. No? It's a protection for the people against the abuses that may happen. No? Against abuses that the government may implement, no? Against us. So we use that. Now there is a hierarchy of laws. No? Hierarchy of laws. Pinakamataas is the Constitution. Second, are statutes or laws. So ito yung mga ginawa ng Senate and Congress. And then, yung mga executive order, these are the legislative making powers of the executive branch. Yung mga IRR, yung implementing rules and regulations, so they give the details. Important ito because, as we see, the president pronounces many things which are unconstitutional. But you will not panic once you realize na, teka, that's not part of your job. You are doing something wrong. So you don't panic, no? For example, sabihin niya, ipakukulong yung mga unvax. That can never happen without a law. But all laws must be constitutional. So that's the importance of the hierarchy. I'm sorry, balikan ko yun, no? The hierarchy of laws is the Constitution, pinakamataas. Next, laws and statutes, no, made by Senate and Congress, and then mga executive orders, no? So lahat yan kailangan maging consistent with the Constitution. Otherwise, pwede siyang invalidate or hindi sundin. So what happens, no? In this pandemic kasi, they bombard us with threats of being denied access to government services, employment, or education. They also threaten us to be imprisoned if we're not jabbed, no, if we're not vaccinated. That can never happen under our Constitution because it's unconstitutional. What do we fight for, no? Kasi kanina, I'm sorry, a complete understanding of the Constitution will save you from panic, no? From the wrong-making decisions. In the Constitution, kanina binanggit ko, there is a Bill of Rights. In the Bill of Rights, it has to be respected by all government institutions, no? The executive, judiciary, and the legislative. So even if they pronounce anything na you think is violative of your constitutional rights, pwede siyang labanan. So doon naging important yung hierarchies of law, no? If you have a complete grasp of our Constitution, and you measure all their actions against it, you will realize kung totoo bang threat yung mga sinasabi nila or totoo bang effective or not. Kung talaga ba dapat tayo ma-push to doing things or not. So why is this important? Again, I said kanina, the government is in a stronger position than us. So we need to use what is available to us and what they under the law must respect. So they must respect the Constitution, especially the Bill of Rights, no? In our situation now, sa Bill of Rights kasi natin, there is right to life, right to property, right to liberty and right to property. So among these rights, meron mga pwedeng i-overturn during times of emergency, but never the right to life. The right to property pwede i-suspend in times of emergency. Right to liberty, meron din restrictions if you're there's a court order, no, to be because you violated a law or you committed a crime. So your liberty pwede yan i-suspend, pwede ka ikulong. Pero never the right to life. No, never the right to life. That's why we're fighting for the right to life. Anything, because the right to life, it's not just constitutional, it's inherent in all living things. Lahat ng nabuhay sa mundo has the right to life and the right to protect itself against anything that endangers it. So that one has to be recognized by everybody. No, even the president, even the Senate, they have to respect that. So if they make laws that will endanger your life, automatic that is unconstitutional. No, automatic 'yon. So pag feeling nyo yung gagawin niya threatens your life, you have the right to resist. Kahit ano pang pronounce nila, kahit magpasa sila ng law, kahit magpasa sila ng mga protocols, you have the right to resist it. And anong ginamit natin is the grave coercion. No? Grave coercion kasi it happens in two ways. One, pinipilit ka to doing something na ayaw mo gawin. Or two, pinipigilan kang gawin yung something that is not illegal. And they use force, intimidation, or threats. No? May pananakot, may pamimilit, or may lahas na ginagamit. So ito yung ginamit natin, no? And it has a very good batting average, no? Based on the statistics we have, based sa mga sumubok. Kasing taas ng survival rate ng COVID, no? Siguro 98.8, mga ganon, 99.8% umi-effect siya because you have to commit to doing it, no? So it is also useful kasi na-empower tayo, no, once you do it, no? So what do we do? First of all, siyempre kailangan, sabi ko, complete understanding of the Constitution, and then you assert your right. You have to assert your right. It is very important to assert a right or to resist, no? Resist the pressure from the government when it comes to the right to life. Kailangan mag-resist. Because dun sa nangyari na yun, sa resistance or dun sa assertion na yun, dun nangyayari yung crime nila. No? It's a setup na because they will be committing crimes against us. And we have to resist. Pag hindi natin ni-resist, ibig sabihin nun, we voluntarily submitted ourselves to it. So walang crime. You agreed to it. So it's very important to resist. So dun nangyayari yung crime nila. You have to resist first. And pag pinilit ka nila, you can file the case of criminal case. Why did I decide to file criminal case instead nung, kasi pwede naman tayo mag-file ng civil case to stop this once and for all. Hindi pa pwede yun because it's premature. Right now, the narrative we're following is the mainstream media. So tayo, medyo minority pa tayo, no, about this pandemic. So, kaya tayo, we continue educating people of the truth behind this scam, no? In the meantime, binibigyan natin yung mga tayo, kailangan may protection tayo while waiting for the grand action of stopping this once and for all. So we do the grave coercion. It's a criminal case. Sa criminal case kasi, it solved many problems na nakita namin. Una, tulad nga na sabi ni Sir Nick Perlas, there's no other lawyer. It's just me. And my mom behind me, pero I do the action, no? So I cannot handle all the cases in the Philippines. I cannot. Even if I be strategic dun sa scheduling of hearings, I cannot do it. So, pangalawa, because it's a pandemic, mahirap ang pera, no? If you file a civil case, you will have to pay the filing fee. So, how do we resolve that? File a criminal case. In a criminal case, you do not pay the filing fee. There's no filing fee. Sinold na natin yan kasi syempre dagdag gastos yan sa atin, ano? Tapos pangalawa, nasusolve natin yung lawyer, no? Kasi ang magiging lawyer dyan is the public prosecutor o yung fiscal. Binabayaran nyo po yan. FYI, yung sweldo po niya nanggagaling sa taxpayers' money. So at least ma-avail nyo na yung binayaran nyo once and for all. Magagamit nyo na. Pangatlo, siya yung pinaka-akma sa situation. Kasi once you resist, tapos pinipilit ka nila to doing something you don't want to do, nakocommit na kagad nila yung crime and you can file it on your own na. So, okay, so na-distribute natin. More importantly, na-empower yung mga nag-avail of it, yung mga nag-resist. You feel it, no? Akala mo dati, parang wala kang dignity, no? Na pwede kang dikta-diktahan kung paano ka kung gusto ka lang paguguluhin ka lang, gusto ka lang bakunahan, pababakunahan ka nila. Doesn't happen that way. Kung alam niyo yung Constitution, alam niyo mag-resist. Pag nag-resist kayo, mararamdaman nyo yung dignity nyo bilang tao. Teka, hindi pala dahil ordinary tao ako, pwede akong pagtulak-tulakan ng taga-barangay o kaya ng police. And it happens, no? It happens. And it worked, no? Those who asserted their right felt empowered, no? And this empowerment is addictive, and we need this. We need this to survive. So to be empowered means hindi naman on the position na do you abuse others, but you are aware of your options, no? You are aware of your options, and And your decisions are the product of your freedom. Not because it is imposed on you, but because you decided to do it. So even if you decide to be vaccinated, at least it was your choice. It was not imposed on you. No? So that's how it is to be empowered. No? And it feels good to be empowered. No? That's why yung mga naka-experience na of asserting their rights, they're the ones who are leading others as well. And this is very important in a democratic country, in a republican country. Now, I will follow the lecture of Sir Nick na inabutan ko. We have to have a laser focus on our rights, sa constitutional rights natin. We have to have a complete understanding of the job description of the politicians. Kung ano yung limitations nila, kung ano lang yung power nila. Once we do that, kahit ano pang gawin nila outside of their job description, di dapat tayo magpanik. Hindi rin dapat tayo ma-move sa mga gusto nilang gawin sa atin because we have a complete understanding of our rights, especially our constitutional rights. That is why the grave coercion works. Because the basis is not just the fact na pinilit ka, but the fact that you are protecting your life. Kaya ka nag-resist. Again, why is that important? Because the right to life is a constitutional right. It has to be respected by all government agencies. Kasi pwede mo i-argue kung ba't mo gusto ko yan eh. Pero if it's not right to life, pwede yan i-suspend, no? Especially during times of emergency. If it's a property right, pwede rin yan i-take take away sa'yo. But never the right to life. So you have to make lahat ng gagawin mong basis has to be something that is respected by everyone. Okay, so we come back with the grave coercion, why it works, no? It works because the basis is always something that has to be respected by everybody, which is the Constitution, no? Kailangan nila irespeto yun. They have no choice. Kahit magkampihan sila, they have to respect it. Because if they do not respect the Constitution, may liability for a government official or employee not to respect the Constitution. Meron liability dyan. May damages for that. Tapos tinali pa natin siya to a criminal case. So merong criminal liability. Pwede silang makulong. In a grave coercion, pwede silang makulong up to 6 years.
6 years?
Up to 6 years. 6 months and 1 day up to 6 years for the grave coercion, no? So, kaya very potent siya, no? Very potent na armor siya ng taong bayan. Kasi pwede mo silang ipakulong, pwede rin sila magbayad ng multa, no? The only person na hindi pwedeng i-demanda right now is the president. So, if the president makes his inferiors, no, his subordinates do unconstitutional things, doon siya nagiging effective kasi susundin ng mga subordinates niya. But exposing them to jail time, syempre natatakot sila, atras sila, no? Hindi nila panukala yan. Ba't sila ang makukulong? So nagiging na-stalemate natin yung whatever evil actions ng presidente, no? Na-stop natin siya because wala nang galamay na gagalaw, no? Kaya very important ang participation ng bawat Pilipino. Now, all politicians, kasi we are in a democratic and republican state, all politicians were elected, meaning they represent only the people, no? Representative lang natin sila. So, makikita nyo kagad yung mali sa system once yung decision nila is contrary sa gusto ng taong bayan. So, for example, in this pandemic, kung taong bayan ang nasunod, wala tayong getong crisis. Kasi gusto na natin magsara ng pagpasok ng mga people from China, from other countries, para hindi tayo mapasok ng virus. Pero our fate was decided by one person, two persons. DOH Secretary and the President. And look what happened, no? And now they will impose yung mga protocols that can kill us, no? That abuse our rights, no? That violates our rights. So, yan, naging armas natin ngayon is the Constitution. Nagiging armas natin siya. So, effective siya kasi, yun nga, again, it has to be respected by everybody. It's the Constitution, no? So what do we do? What do we do? We first make the refusal letter. Nagbibigay tayo ng refusal letter, no? To resist. This is the best way to resist. Do it in writing. No? You can refuse orally, but yung naging method natin is to refuse in writing. This is important because may foresight tayo ng next action lagi. No, laging may foresight dapat ng next action. Hindi it doesn't stop there. Kapag hindi ni-respect yung refusal natin, what happens next? So because it is in writing, it becomes evidence once we bring the matter to court. No? Kaya ako, I don't do debates na sa labas, no? I bring everything to court. Kasi once and for all, a judge will decide on it. Merong katapusan. No? And because ang basis natin is Constitution, kahit wala tayong marami kasi walang tiwala na sa justice system ng Philippines. Nangyayari talaga yung mga hinala ninyo, pero not all the time. So we have to be hopeful as well na hindi pwedeng gano'n, no, situation. Dahil natakot tayo, hindi na natin susubukan. It doesn't happen that way, no? We don't live that way. It's a terrorist game yun, no? Parang natakot na kayo dahil feeling nyo ang justice pang mayaman lang, no? Kaya siya naging strategic. Una, di sabi ko nga, all government employees must respect the Constitution. If we bring the matter to court, dahil Constitution ang basis, and it has to prevail over everything, especially the right to life. Pag yung judge, hindi niya ni-respect yon, it becomes ignorance of the law. No, ignorance of the law. Ibig sabihin yan, pwede siyang masuspend from service, pwede siyang matanggalan ng license. No, may repercussion again. So we don't make actions na it stops there. No, kailangan alam na natin meron tayong 3-4 steps ahead para alam na natin kagad kung whatever na maging turnout, meron ready tayo. So everyone na naging successful dun sa grave coercion kasi sinunod na yung method, no? So ano yung mga incidents, no, na pwede natin gamitin yung grave coercion? Una, sa employment, no, yun yung pinaka-prevalent, employment. Hindi ka raw papapasukin or tatanggalin ka sa trabaho if you're not vaccinated. And then, sa RA 11525, that is the law na pinas para dun sa rollout of the vaccines. No? In RA 11525, Section 12, sinabi doon na the vaccination card cannot be a mandatory requirement for education, employment, and government transactions. So kung yung vaccination, kailan ka ba nagkakaroon ng vaccination card? Kapag vaccinated ka, definitely. So it means the vaccination itself is not mandatory for education, employment, and government transactions. Ngayon, education, you know education, no? So, ibig sabihin, pwede ka makapasok sa school kahit di ka vaccinated. That's the law. Hindi ka nila pwedeng tanggalin dahil di ka vaccinated. That's the law. Yun yung sa Section 12. Employment, hindi ka nila pwedeng tanggalin or hindi ka nila pwedeng i-require na ma-vaccinate to continue employment. Hindi rin nila pwedeng ikaw i-demote or anything na parang constructive dismissal because you're not vaccinated. They cannot require you to undergo swab test as well, no? Kung ang re-require lang nila is the unvaccinated. Kailangan pareho. Kung magre-require sa unvaccinated ng swabbing, regular swabbing, they have to require the vaccinated as well because both both can transmit, no? Pareho pwede mag-transfer, no? Maghawa. Pinakamahalaga dyan at pinaka-all-covering is government transactions. Ano yung government transactions? Para magka-access ka sa munisipyo, Mag-file ka ng taxes, kumuha ka ng lisensya, kumuha ka ng passport. Lahat yan, government transactions yan. Even if, lalo na kahit yung pagtawid lang ng probinsya, is a transaction. Especially kung dadaan ka ng dagat or himpapawid, no, sa airport. Kasi may mga resibo yan eh. No? Again, those receipts, evidence yan of transaction. So, government transaction yan. So, that's section 12. Ngayon, merong powers ang government. There are three very important powers of the government. One is expropriation. Pwede na lang kunin ang private properties for government use and they have to pay for just compensation. That's a side note. Next is taxation. Pwede sila mag-impose ng buwis, no, on anything. Side note yan. Pinaka-importante at saka importante sa situation natin ngayon is police power. No, you've heard that, I think you've heard that last Tuesday, nung sinabi ni Duterte, he can use police power para i-mandate ang mga tao to be vaccinated. That's not true. It is a result of his stupidity. No? Let's be honest. Yung Pangulo, although abogado yan, hindi yan practitioner for a long time. For the longest time, 30 years yata siya sa mayor, no? Mayor, vice mayor, mga ganyan lang siya, 30 years. Hindi siya practitioner, so even if practitioner siya, it's really stupid because it's wrong. Police power, invading na na power to, it can be imposed on many things. For public health, no? For the survival of the community, of the country, pwede yan. But never, pwede niyang isuspend almost all rights, almost all. Halimbawa, may sunog, no? May sunog sa isang community. Kailangan sirain yung bahay mo para hindi na kumalat pa tumawid. It can happen. That's police power. That's valid. Kasi ang pinoprotektahan lang is property rights. Pero never the right to life. Never. Police power can never be exercised over the right to life. Hindi pwede. For example, para mapigilan ng bulkan, kailangan ialay. Ikaw, pwede ka bang ialay sa bulkan? Hindi ka pwedeng ialay because that's a right to life. Pwede mo protektahan sarili mo. Patayin mo lahat ng magtutulak sa'yo sa bulkan. Same thing, no? Public health. For example, meron tayong mataas ang tuberculosis sa Pilipinas. Pwede niya bang ilaglag sa bulkan uli yung mga may TB? Hindi pwede yon. Right to life. No? In fact, mas maraming may tuberculosis kaysa sa mga mas maraming namamatay sa tuberculosis or sa rabies kaysa sa COVID. No? So it can never be used against the right to life. So kalokohan yung sinabi na yun ni Duterte, no? Na he can use. If you will also notice, sinabi rin ng DOJ Secretary, ni DOJ Secretary Menardo Guevara, na hindi pwedeng gamitin yun. There has to be a law. No? The police power is limited by two things. Due process and equal protection of the laws. Important po to, no? Due process, it means two things as well. Substantive at saka procedural. So sa substantive, kailangan merong law muna na nagre-require sa'yo to do things. May law. So again, sino ang gagawa ng law? Kaya important, sabi ko sa inyo kanina, yung job description ng mga nasa gobyerno, no? Ang gagawa ng law is Senate, not the President. It is the Senate or the Congress. They will pass the law, legislative, no, branch. It's not the President. Although gumagawa siya ng executive orders, limited lang yun, no? The executive order can never go above and beyond the statute that is passed by Senate and Congress. And the laws that is passed by Senate and Congress cannot go above and beyond the Constitution. So a solid understanding of our Constitution will eliminate your stress. Pag nakita nyo na yung may ginawa sila na law, sasabihin nila, paano pag gawing mandatory yung vaccination? It cannot be. Kasi it goes above and beyond the Constitution, no, against the right to life. It will never happen. If they pass it because of their ignorance, mabilis mapapawala ng bisa yan. Kasi it will happen. Maraming stupid po sa gobyerno. No, they will pass laws even if they haven't read the Constitution. To be honest, siguro mga 80-90% dyan di nagbasa ng Constitution or not well versed in the Constitution. Kasi pinamaliit natin ang Constitution. Even I am guilty of that. No, it's not my favorite subject, pero it proved to be very useful, especially now in the pandemic, no, because it's something that has to be respected by everybody. No, it may be kasi pag nag-CR ka, matatapos mo yan. Ganyan lang siya kaiksi. Napakaiksi lang po niyan ng Constitution. Kaya sana basahin ninyo kasi it's very important. It protects you against abuses. No? Okay, balik tayo. So, sa substantive due process, kailangan may law muna requiring you to do things. Especially sa vaccination, kailangan may law na requiring you to vaccinate. After that, meron pa tayong tinatawag na procedural due process. Hindi dahil may law, kailangan implement na kagad nila. Kung ayaw nyo, pwede pa rin kayo mag-resist. At kailangan nila ng court order to do that. Kasuhan muna kayo to implement that law against you. Okay? Hindi yung parang, may law. Hindi pwedeng gano'n. No? Pwede mo sila magdemanda muna kayo. So, the court order, una kailangan mayroong tribunal or court, no, who has power over you. Kailangan na-acquire nila yung jurisdiction over you. Ibig sabihin, kailangan sinunod nila yung proseso para masampahan ka ng kaso. Binigyan ka ng notice, o kaya nag-submit ka voluntarily, in-inform ka ng sinasampang kaso na ang reklamo laban sa'yo. Tapos, kailangan you have the right to be heard or to defend yourself. Kailangan maipagtanggol mo yung sarili mo. And yung decision na gagawin ng court na yon has to be the result ng isang pagdinig, no? Kailangan napakinggan ng both sides, in-assess ang arguments, in-assess ang defense bago kayo pinatawan ng desisyon. So, yun yung unang limitations, due process. So, again, pag alam nyo itong mga bagay na to, hindi kayo basta-basta matataranta. Especially, ang pinakamaingay lagi, presidente. No? And, akala nyo kasi parang pag sinabi ng presidente, utos ng presidente, utos ng hari. Hindi po ganun yun. Okay? They are bound by the Constitution. Presidente, kailangan sumunod respeto ang Constitution. In fact, hindi lang nangyayari ngayon, pero dapat kasi, that is called a culpable violation of the Constitution, what is doing. And it's an impeachable offense. Pwede siyang matanggal because of that. Hindi lang nangyayari, alam nyo na kung bakit. Alam nyo na kung bakit. Kampihan yan. Dahil kampi-kampi sila, kaya hindi na i-impeach. Pero sobrang umpisa pa lang, impeachable offense na yan. Okay, what is the second limitation ng police power? Ang second is equal protection of the laws. Ito, important again ito sa situation ngayon. Right now, mayroong discrimination against the unvaccinated. Okay? Under the equal protection of the laws, kung merong distinction na gagawin yung batas, it has to be relevant doon sa purpose na gustong i-achieve ng batas. So kung ang gusto nila ma-achieve is walang transmission, kailangan yung distinction between vaccinated and unvaccinated has to be relevant to that. Kaso, even the data ng government, pinapakita nila na kahit yung vaccinated can transmit, they also admitted that in the law, in RA 11525. They admitted that. Sabi nila dun sa law na yon, vaccines will not make you immune from the disease unless declared by the DOH. So, sila nag-admit sila pero binabiolate din nila, no? So, here comes the important part. How do we address this problem? Yung una, yung resistance. Pangalawa, yung cease and desist na piniprepare ni Sir Nick, namin ni Sir Nick. It's important because pinapakita natin doon na you're violating these constitutional rights and you will become liable. No? There is a time for that and they are becoming liable, no? So, ganun. So, if you understand these things, hindi kayo matataranta. So, may questions pa? Any questions? Masyado bang bagal, mabilis? Okay. Any question? Yes.
Sa mga executive orders, meron mga fines, or mga monetary fines, na pag di ka follow in that case, for example, I'm from Mindoro,
Yes.
you cannot go home because it requires vaccination card, and at the same time, it requires swab test. So, if wala akong vaccination card, my only option is to get swab. Is there any law that says na it's your right not to, it's your option not to get a swab test?
Sa nature kasi ng law, there is what we call presumption of regularity. So, unless declared siya na unconstitutional, it remains valid, no? So, you have to question that. So, yung nagiging obligation natin yan, if you think it's wrong, you have to question those laws. Hindi natin in-address yan before kasi it's a civil case and it requires filing fee. Nakikita ko yung problem na yun, no? At saka long shot siya. Long shot siya in the sense that hindi pa ready yung utak ng mga nasa courts. Hindi pa sila open doon sa idea na dangerous siya. You get it? Mahirap siya. Gusto natin talaga yan, no? Sino bang gusto na patagalin pa to? Kaya lang, if it's premature, masasayang yung effort. Kailangan ready rin sila to accept the reality na ngayon, malapit na yan maging hinog for filing because yung data mismo ng government, even if it's manipulated, it is still representative na mali yung ginawa nilang protocols, na mas dumadami because of the vaccination, na vaccinated people, mas maraming infected sa kanila kaysa unvaccinated, at may namamatay. Kahit konti yung declaration nila, in reality, mas marami talaga, and we know that for a fact kasi nagre-report sa atin, yung mga victims, family ng victims. So, dyan, sa fine, what do you do, no? When they give you the ticket, write it under protest. Sulat nyo under protest. Sa ticket mismo. Sa kopya rin under protest. Okay, what does that mean? Ibig sabihin, i-contest mo yung fact na sinabi sa'yo. Because how does the law work? The law, merong law, may written law, may pangyayari. Kailangan mag-match. Nangyari ba talaga yung sinabi? So, tinikitan ka ba dahil nangyari ba talaga yun o hindi? So, lalabanan mo siya sa pangyayari. Claim nila yan, claim it otherwise. That's how you defend yourself. Claim it otherwise. For example, I give you an example. There is a family in Mindanao. Namatay yung nanay. So sabi, they have to be swabbed. All of them, no? The family. Otherwise, ilalak din sila sa bahay nila. So ano yung naging situation, no? Paano nalabanan yon? Ang defense nila, we don't have noticeable symptoms. Walang may ubo, walang may ano. If wala ka notifiable symptoms, there's no reason para i-require ka for swabbing. Okay. Sabi lang, you have close contact. Sabihin mo, hindi ako huminga nung nakita ko siya. Hindi ako huminga. Imposible, sabi niya. Posible, hindi nga ako huminga eh. Ako makakapagsabi niyan eh. Hinga ako malayo. I mean, labanan niyo sila ng facts. They cannot, kayo alam niyo yun eh, panindigan niyo yung story niyo. No, it happens. Naswab ba? Hindi naswab. Hindi sila na-lock in. And then, you know the law. Sabihin mo, pinipilit mo ako, that's coercion. Ilalak mo ako, that's illegal detention. So, hindi nangyari yun, no? So, it was successful. I consider that as a success. Kasi hindi sila na-coerce, hindi sila na-detain. Okay, another example. Umuwi ng Pilipinas. Gusto iswab sa ilong. Dangerous yan sa ilong. No? Triangle of the death ang tawag dyan, no? Because personally, kaya ko alam yan, it happened to me. Nagka-pimple ako sa loob ng ilong, so tumabing yung mukha ko, so in-hospitalize ako dyan. It's dangerous pala dyan sa ilong na yan because pwede ka mag-meningitis, mamatay, or magkaroon ka ng brain damage. So, hindi mo pinagagalaw yan to anybody. Kahit sa kapatid mo, hindi niya, magpapangulangot ka ba sa kapatid mo? Hindi, walang pwedeng gumalaw ng ilong mo. So, on the kasi ang protocol kasi sa travelers, no, 10 days sa facility, 4 days sa bahay. On the 7th day, you will be swabbed. You ask for saliva test on the 7th day. Kasi 7th day sila maganda. You can change your mind, no? Kahit nandiyan ka na sa harap na magtitest sa'yo. No, ayoko pala sa ilong, gusto ko sa bibig. Hindi ka nagsabi, hindi ko problema yon. You have to make it available. Diba? Hindi mo problema yon. So may mga nakakalusot, hindi na na-swab sa ilong. Because after the 10th day, kailangan na i-release whatever the results, especially kung wala ka notifiable symptoms. Otherwise, after 10th day, pag kinip mo na sa quarantine, that's illegal detention already. Mas mabigat yun kaysa grave coercion. An illegal detention is punishable hanggang reclusion perpetua, meaning up to 40 years. Pwede sila makulong up to 40 years. Yun yung naging kaso against Janet Napoles, kaya hanggang ngayon nakakulong pa rin siya. Imagine, no? So, imagine, hindi mo na yung pakulo, yung mag-ano na yan, nautusan ka lang ni Mayor, tapos ikaw pa makukulong ng 40 years. So, matras sila dyan. So, yun. May tanong pa behind yung ninyo. Ma'am, ano nga yung tanong mo? May tanong ka rin kanina. Nag-raise ka ng hand.
Yes, sir. Parang mga 3 days ago, nabasa ko yung isang news na yung isang city or municipality sa Visayas, they created an ordinance na mandatory vaccination na rin sa mga alamin. May ordinance sila. Yung explanation mo nga na, di ba, parang higher talaga yung constitution.
So what do you do? What do you do? If you lumabas ka na violated mo yung constitution, hayaan mong kung fine yan under protest. Ibig sabihin, pag nag-under protest ka, irereklamo mo siya, pwede mo sila idemanda for those fines. No? Pwede mo sila idemanda. And what is your basis? Pag in-elevate mo sa court yung argument na yan, pwede ma-declare as unconstitutional yung ordinance. No? Pag in-elevate mo yun doon sa court, yung issue na yan. So, magiging defense mo is, unconstitutional yan, violates my right. So, anything that violates the Constitution is invalid. Pwedeng invalidate ng court yun. Kahit hindi naging civil case yun. Kasi merong issue siya on civil aspect. So, yun. So, ganun siya. Kaya important yung resistance ng tao. If you have understanding of your rights, pwede ka mag-resist even if magka-order ng ordinance. Kasi ordinances, executive orders, they have to be subordinate to statutes and lalo na national statute, no? National statutes, national laws, yung pinas ng Senate and Congress. They have to be subordinate to that. They all have to be subordinate sa Constitution. So, ganun din. So, ordinances na violates the Constitution is invalid. Pero, it has to be invalidated by the court. So, what do you do in the meantime? If you violate, you raise it to the court. Hindi demanda mo yun. So, pag tinikitan ka under protest, ibig sabihin you're ready to file a case against them. And that's already evidence. That's what happened in Alberta, Canada. He was fined for not wearing a mask, no? Si Patrick King. He was fined. Doon natapos ang pandemya nila sa Canada, sa Alberta, Canada. Dahil hindi siya nag-wear ng mask, na-fine siya. So, pinalabas niya yung sabi niya, I don't have any evidence. So, he asked parang yung katumbas ng Department of Health natin, no, to bring out the isolated virus. So, wala raw sila ng data na yon. So, sabi ng court, wala pala kayong pinoprotektan against. So, ganun siya na-stop. It doesn't happen here yet kasi medyo merong parang conspiracy theories ang dating natin, pero that's the reality. Hindi pa ready. No? At saka, umaatras kasi sila once the people fight back. Yun naman yung reality. dito talaga, once alam ng tao yung rights nila, constitutional rights nila, umaatras to mga authorities. So yun, so very important yan, no? You have to feel empowered. So again, ibabalik ko dun sa sinabi ni Sir Nick, no? You have to be, kailangan malinaw yung framework sa inyo ng government, ng sarili nyo, kung paano ipoposisyon ng sarili nyo sa society na to. As a citizen of the country, you have your rights. It is protected by the Constitution. All government positions, they have a job description to follow. If they violate your rights, pwede nyong labanan. If they pronounce something that is not within their power or their job description, huwag kayong ma-stress. No? It will never happen. Ayun. So, yung sa mga forms na nirelease natin, there are 8 forms of grave coercion forms na nirelease natin. There's employment, meron sa students, meron sa mga travelers, meron sa business owners. So these are all important. We made, ang basis lagi natin ginagamit na basis sa constitutional rights, kaya siya nagiging effective. Kahit sa checkpoint, gumagana siya. Okay. So yun. Ano pa ba? May na-miss out ba ako? Any yes, Linus?
Question na po.
Yes.
Meron po kasi isang radio station, parang natanggit po nila na kapag may pandemic daw po, wala daw human rights.
That's not true. That's not true. Again, may mga rights na pwedeng isuspend during health crisis, during pandemics or national emergency, national health emergency, especially now. Meron mga right na suspend. Those are really yung mga property rights, ganyan. Yung nare-restrict yung right to travel, pwede i-restrict, but never the right to life. Okay. So, hindi totoo yun. Marami kasi, especially in media, they pronounce things out of kamangmangan, no? Dahil gusto ko sabihin, dahil tanga sila. Kasi, they have access naman, no, to research, no? At saka, bayad sila para to make pronouncement, bayad sila doon, kumikita sila. So, dapat nagre-research sila para tama yung sinasabi nila sa tao. So, very irresponsible on their part, no? Na magkaroon ng mga pronouncements. So yun, hindi totoo. So don't worry. Yun nga, again, nasasabi ko sa inyo, constitutional rights, especially the right to life, can never be suspended. Nobody can suspend that. Isipin mo, para maligtas kami, kailangan mo mamatay. Payag ka? Diba? Bakit ikaw? Ba't hindi sila nakaisip eh? Yes, Nikki.
Sir, pag ganyan po ba, diba sa media, and they spread misinformation like that, pwede ba makasukan yan?
Eventually, kaya nga important yung documentation. Yung mga letters na ginagawa, it's not really parang kapritsyo lang o parang trip-trip lang. Hindi po siya ganun. May purpose siya. Malalim yung purpose niya. Ang purpose niya, evidentiary yan. Especially yung ginagawa ni Sir Nick. Very important yon. You notify them that what they're doing is wrong, so they cannot invoke good faith. Nagiging bad faith yung ginagawa nila. So, kahit yung mga media, if you want them to be responsible, you have to notify them. Write them a letter and pa-receive nyo yung copy para may ebidensya na natanggap nyo to. Kasi, who knows what can happen? Kasi, marami na rin na vaccinate eh. Maraming mamamatay. No? Maraming mamamatay. At sinong sisisihin nila? Dapat maging malinaw kung sino may kasalanan. Hindi pwedeng yung mga unvaccinated, no? And yung mga letters na ganyan is important kasi na-identify kung sino yung may kasalanan. Even if yung mga nagpo-push for it, no? After natin ma-resolve to, pwede siyang umabot sa crimes against humanity. Pwede siyang umabot doon. Not now. Not now kasi malaking proseso yun eh. Mahabang proseso yun kasi sa international court kasi kailangan ang mga parties lang dyan are states or NGO, yung mga international organizations, not ordinary NGOs pero international organizations or states, so not individuals. Pero under the Nuremberg Code, pwede sila maging liable kahit yung mga media who are pushing for the vaccines. So important yan. When the time comes, at least alam nyo, kung gusto silang pagbayarin, you have to do your job. Yun yun. Yes, Al.
Attorney, di ba, am I correct in yung ipapabigay natin form sa media is yung cease and desist? Or they're parang
Oh, yes. That's the purpose of the cease and desist. Una, baka naman magising sila, tigilan nila yung kalokohan nila. Pangalawa, it's evidentiary. No? Evidentiary in preparation for something bigger. No? And for liability. So, sinong dapat makulong, sinong dapat magbayad ng damages. No? So, yun. Yes.
last question, attorney. Di ba, pinasa ko sa constitution nakalagay na 6 months daw yung parang maximum time ng authority ng health secretary.
In-extend niya kasi to 1 year. Oo, in-extend niya. So, it appears, hindi naman kinokontra. Kasi dapat ganito, in the job description of the Senate, if you remember, a few years ago, merong trans woman na hindi nakaihi sa CR ng babae. Nagkaroon ng Senate inquiry. Pero dito, maraming namatay, never nagkaroon ng Senate inquiry. What is the importance of Senate inquiry? Part yan ng trabaho ng Senate na mag-inquire kung mayroong mga controversies, especially now. National issue siya. Kaya lang walang nag-inquire, no? Walang nag-investigate. So nakikita ninyo na walang nagtrabaho sa Senate when it comes to this pandemic. So, dahil hindi nila ginawa yung trabaho nila, you have to be aware na hindi natin sila pwedeng asahan to do anything greater, no? Kasi yung job mismo, yun na mismo yung job description na hindi nila kayang gawin. No? So kung hindi nila kayang gawin yun, why do we expect them to solve things outside ng mga job description na yun? Ibig sabihin yung something novel, something na bago, like a pandemic, hindi sila ready for that because yung ordinary problem hindi nila kaya i-solve. Yung mga extraordinary problem pa ba ang kaya nilang i-solve? They cannot do that. Okay. During a pandemic, national emergency, ano ang pwedeng gawin ng gobyerno? Pwede nilang bawiin ang mga private utility companies to help us. Like tubig, kuryente. They are allowed under the Constitution, ha? Walang ano yun. Hindi nila kailangan bilhin yun for the meantime. Pwede na lang nila yun i-take over for operation para makatulong sa ating lahat. Pwede yun. Hindi nila ginagawa yun. And pag ginawa nila yun, it will alleviate all of us. Kasi marireduce ang ating binabayaran sa bills hanggang 2/3. So magiging 1/3 na lang. Kung 3,000 yung bill nyo sa tubig, sa kuryente, magiging 1,000 na lang yon kung ginawa nila yung trabaho nila. Okay. Maliit siyang tignan individually. Pero there are 20 million households in the Philippines. No? So kung 2,000 yung na-save mo in a month, that is 40 billion in 1 month na iikot sa economy ng Pilipinas. Hindi mo na utangin yun. In a year, it's almost 1 billion. 1 trillion. Almost 1 trillion pesos umiikot sa ekonomiya. Bubuhayin niya ng bansa. They do not do that because syempre may mga self-interest. So kita nyo, na-assess nyo kasi very important nga, kaya sabi ko nga, I lately realize it, no? Dahil because of the pandemic, dati I take it for granted. The Constitution, if you know the Constitution, alam mo yung mga i-require mo. Kasi for 30 years, walang gumawa niyan. For 30 years, kasi 35 years, the Constitution is almost 35 years, no? Walang nag-implement ng mga laws na yan, no? The Constitution was created to create an environment para maging successful tayo bilang Pilipino. Pero, nangangailangan siya ng mga implementing laws. Especially yung anti-dynasty. It's very important. Yung anti-dynasty is not just because gusto lang natin ma-stop yung mga dynasties. Hindi. The rationale behind it is, kung merong anti-dynasty, you bring out only the best in your family to serve the country. Only the best, hindi yung latak. Diba? Pangalawa, you do your best when ikaw yung nakaupo. Para kung hindi na ikaw, mare-remember kayo at pwede pa kayo makabalik uli in power. So, it's very important yun because we get quality leaders with an anti-dynasty law. only quality leaders kasi in a family, yung best lang ipipresent mo para hindi nakakahiya yung lahi nyo. Pero kasi pati yung mga latak walang ginawa sa buhay, wala ka palang plano, magpolitiko ka na lang. Ganun ang nangyari sa atin. Especially now, in the elections, makikita niyo yung requirements to running a public office, running for public office. May requirements dyan sa Constitution, especially the President, the Senators, Vice President, Senators. So, President, natural-born citizen, 40 years old, able to read and write, 10 years residency. Yan lang ang requirement. Hindi yan pwedeng dagdagan. Hindi part niyan ang financial capacity. Kaya lang, you will notice, hindi yan para siyang unspoken rule ng COMELEC. May financial requirements silang ginagawa. Kaya hindi tayo magkakaroon ng quality leaders. Yung mayayaman lang na nakaupo. Pero yun dapat yun, no? Kasi who knows kung saan magagaling yung quality leader. Hindi naman pera basihan sa capacity, no? Wala naman sa job description. Mag-shell out ba dapat yung president ng pera? Hindi naman There's public fund for that. Okay. So, ang Congress, during the time of pandemic, pinas nila ang law allowing 100% ownership, foreign ownership of utilities. During time of pandemic, I think February yata yun, I forgot. That is not allowed in the Constitution. They passed a law para dyan, no? Hindi pa lang napipirmahan yata yun. Pero that is unconstitutional. So, problem natin ngayon, paano yan? Marami ng mga unconstitutional ginawa ang government natin. Nagbenta na sila sa mga, like mass media. Mass media, including internet, 100% Filipino ownership dapat yan. So, nakakatakot kasi, for example, dito, diba, siya, under China yan. Paano yan pag anything that violates the Constitution is void. Pag nagpalit na ng administration, pwede yan i-cancel. Don't worry. Dahil walang effect ang anything na void. No, kasi sabi nila, the Constitution cannot violate contracts. Kaya lang, it's a void contract in the first place. So, wala siyang effect, force and effect. So, ganon. Hindi ko alam kung nagtatranscend yung mga sinasabi ko sa inyong lahat, pero hopefully, ma-realize nyo. Pero kung ang immediate na matandaan nyo man lang, sana kung may matandaan kayo right now, you have to read your constitutional rights. Very important, constitutional rights. And you have to understand the police power, yung dynamics niyan. Kasi may constitutional rights kayo, sabihin natin religion, health, property, pwedeng i-suspend, but never your right to life. In the exercise of police power, never your right to life. Kaya may nag-propose kasi na congresswoman, somewhere near dito. Ang pwede lang maging excuse is right to religion. That's false. No? Health at saka false. Health at saka right to religion. Hindi pwede. Never naging mas mataas ang right to religion kaysa right to life. Remember that, Ayun. Any other question? Yes, Dan.
About sa employees, could you further elaborate po and maybe set some examples about sa constructive dismissal or...
Okay. Sa employees, they use the... Go ahead. They use the pandemic, vaccination, to require continuous employment. Sabi kung hindi raw ba-vaccinate, tatanggalin. In the private sector, ang ginagamit natin just, una, constitutional right to life. Pangalawa, yung RA 11525, Section 12. Pangatlo is DOLE Advisory Number 3, 2021. Under the DOLE Advisory Number 3, hindi pwedeng gawing requirement ang vaccination for continued employment, for demotion, promotion, whatever related sa Constructive dismissal is i-deploy ka sa napakalayo na sobrang inconvenient sa'yo, you will want to decide na hindi ka na lang magtrabaho dun. That's constructive dismissal. They make the workload for you very uncomfortable. Constructive dismissal. Ngayon, isa pang ginagawa dyan sa mga company policy raw, kailangan i-swab unvaccinated. Or, company policy, kailangan vaccinated lahat. Hindi pwedeng maging company policy ang vaccination. Kasi nga, because of the DOLE advisory, RA 11525, at saka Constitution. Pero paano yung swabbing? Hindi naman sinabi yung sa swabbing sa RA 11525. Under that terms, we use the unfair labor practice. Unfair labor practice means na they are imposing policies that was never part of the original policies of the company. Kasi you've been enjoying a company that doesn't impose swabbing before. So if they impose that, unfair labor practice kasi ginagawa nila yung situation para mag-quit ka na ng work mo or magbigay sa'yo ng additional burden. Imagine, sa'yo, pipilitin kang gumastos weekly for antigen or swabbing. So, saan na kukunin yun? Sa sweldo mo? Diba? Now, for employment of the government, what do we do? Hindi pwede sa DOLE advisory. They're under the Civil Service Commission. So, we use the Constitution agad and RA 11525. Pag hindi gumana itong mga refusal na to, grave coercion in both private and government.
Pag hindi gumana,
Ang ano po?
yung sa lavender,
Hindi, no. Ang mga ito po. Hindi. So yun, the refusal, yung nga sabi lang sa letter, yun yung ilalagay nyo, no? Your basis nyo is a constitutional right to life, RA 11525 for both government and private sector. Pag private sector, pwede nyo dagdagan ng DOLE memorandum. DOLE advisory 03-2021. Pag hindi gumana yung parang they still insisted, that's the time you will file a grave coercion case against them. So merong forms, yung pinakalat na po natin yung forms. You will have to fill it out. Ginawa ko na siyang parang checklist, tapos you will have to write a narrative, a short narrative of what really happened, no? And kailangan may personal knowledge kayo sa nangyari na yon. Hindi pwedeng yung walang resistance na nangyari. Kailangan may resistance para may nangyari yung crime. Kasi gano'n nangyari yung crime nun ng grave coercion. May pagpipilit na nangyari. May pagtanggi, tas may namilit. So pag nangyari na yon, so you will fill out the form and submit it to the prosecutor's office. Minsan, may mga lugar walang prosecutor's office, diretso po yan sa korte. Sasampan nyo sa korte, walang bayad po yan. You will act as the witness of the state. Kaya ang magiging lawyer nyo is yung public prosecutor. Bayad nyo na yan. Hindi nyo kailangan bayaran na extra, sumisweldo na sila to doing those things. Okay. Kaya importante na may personal knowledge kayo kasi susumpaan nyo yung statement na yan. Susumpaan nyo. In your heart and in your experience, totoo na pinilit ka. Susumpaan mo yan. Dahil pag hindi totoo yan sa nangyari, pwede ka ma-perjury. Or side issue na yan. Kasi hindi mo naman yung ipa-file kung hindi mo na-feel talagang kinurse ka. So, panindigan nyo yan na na-coerce talaga kayo. So, yun. Usually, nagiging successful na yun at that stage. That stage pa lang, yung magpa-file ka pa lang, umatras na. Kasi taas ng survival rate nga ng COVID ang pag-atras nila dyan. Okay. Kung hindi yung gumana, may next move na uli yan. Tuloy ang case. Kung, halimbawa, hindi sila umatras, tuloy ang kaso. Tuloy ang kaso. Diretso sila. What happens kapag natuloy ang kaso? Pag naisampan nyo yan, either makukulong agad sila or magbabayad sila ng piyansa, ng bail. So, malaking abala na sa kanila yan, financially or in their time. Diba? Total, inabala nila kayo, abalahin nyo rin sila. So, yan. So, ganon. Tuloy ang kaso pagka ganon. After that, it takes time, pero at least, most probably, stop na rin sila dyan, aatras na sila. Ito naman, ginawa natin ito in preparation. In the meantime na piniprepare namin ni Sir Nick yung major na to stop everything, no? To stop everything. Para armado kayo on how to protect yourself. Okay na ba, Dan? May additional tanong ka?
Halimbawa, ako yung bayado. Tapos, pinilit ako, tumanggi ako. Let's say, after the day, binigyan ako na termination letter na ang nakalagay na dahil sa performance ko. Hypothetically speaking, may laban ba tayo?
Sa ganyang situation, ang gagawin mong defense, excuse nila yung performance. Kasi most probably, paaanakin mo muna sila ng memo na requiring you to be vaccinated. Okay, paanakin mo sila ng memo para may evidence ka. Laging evidentiary tayo. Now, if they dismiss you because of that, pero nakapag-file ka ng refusal letter beforehand, malinaw na yon na ano lang yon, coercive strategy lang yon yung pag-dismiss sa'yo because of performance. So, nagiging malicious na yung pag-dismiss sa'yo. So, ganun din sa swabbing. Hindi kayo pwede require. Nagawa na rin natin yan. Nire-require nila weekly swabbing, ganyan. Again, it's not germane. It's not relevant to the purpose of the law kasi both vaccinated and unvaccinated. Kung gusto nila i-require yan, kailangan i-require nila kahit sa vaccinated. Iba ang situation naman if you're applying for a job. Hindi mo siya pwedeng i-insist. Kasi wala ka pang right dun eh. You're just applying. So, apply ka na lang sa iba. Pag ganon. Yes.
I just want to clarify regarding sa, di ba po sabi nyo, pag sa employment aspect is kailangan, pag ang vaccinated, they din na swab test kung i-require sa swab. Kung i-require ang swab sa unvaccinated. Is it possible to question yung mga tao na nasa, like for example, sa mga ports na, ay mamula akong vaccination card.
Sa port.
Kailangan mo ngayon, kailangan mo ng swab result. Can we approach yung nagsabi na, sir, yung mga vaccinated ba? Na
Hindi. Sa ganon, kasi di ba, our position is, you don't want to be swabbed in the first place. Plus, there are false positives sa swab. So sabihin mo, gusto ko i-avail yung antigen lang or whatever. Pag pinilit na yung swab, so ibig sabihin kasi, you are compliant. You want to be compliant muna. We appear to be compliant. Pero you're availing of an option. Kasi part of your option kasi is to avail of the antigen o kaya yung sa saliva. So i-insist mo muna yung mga ganon. Hindi mo pwedeng tanongin yung sa status ng health status ng iba. Kasi there's a law against that. You cannot disclose the status of other people. Pero, you work on your own, no? So, ganon. Tapos, you get the names. Kapag ayaw nilang ibigyan ka ng ganon na access dahil gusto nila sa ilong, you get their names, tatanong nila bakit, ididemanda kita ng grave coercion. Along with the governor, ni Dolor. Tama ba? Yun. So, sama mo sila. Bakit ganon? Kasi kung si governor lang ididemanda mo, it's another tribunal. So, kaya natin dinidikit sila dun sa mga inutusan nila para sa regular courts lang. So, it's a strategy. Yes, may tanong? Ayun.
Sir, clarify ko lang, kasi sa Mindoro, hindi pwede ang saliva test. So, yun yung way
Hindi, you have to insist.
na,
Nirecognize yun ng DOH.
kasi sir, under sa EO, na hindi
Oo nga. So, kailangan mo siyang i-insist. You cannot, if you accept their reasoning, talo ka na agad. So, you do not accept their reasoning. Otherwise, huwag ka nang pumasok ng probinsya mo. So, don't accept their reasoning and demanda mo sila for it. So, kung hindi ka makatawid, ang nangyari yung krimen sa Batangas. Hindi ka makatawid ng Mindoro, so doon mo ipa-file sa Batangas. So, papupuntahin mo pa doon si Governor para sumagot sa criminal case against him. So, hindi siya court, hindi siya territory niya. Sa territory ng Batangas. anything else? Yes.
Okay, sir, attorney, I have a question regarding about the situation. Bakit ako umalis sa one company, which is, ang hirap kasi as a call center, ang hirap na we need to talk while wearing face mask at saka face shield. So, it's hard for me to breathe. So, I'll try to take off my face, just only the face shield. Then, my monitor, pinalabas ako kasi hindi ako sumunod sa memo ng ano ito, from the ordinance under the government. Kasi on that day, before our shift, nag-send ng memo din. We are aware for that. So it's so very difficult for me. Then the customer, so very irate. What are you talking about? Ganun. So I'll try to take off my face shield. Ganun na understand ng customer. Then, ayun, pinalabas ako ng manager. Then I suspended for 3 days. So I decided na hindi na lang papasok and I will resign na lang po. It is, tama ba yung ginawa ng manager? Or I have a rights to file case also sa manager?
May right ka rin naman under the labor code, no? Syempre, it's inefficiency in your work, no? So parang tulad na sinabi ko nga kay Dan kanina, it created an environment para hindi mo perform yung trabaho mo well. Diba? Siyempre, you're talking, no? It's also dangerous naman, no? To wear mask while you're talking a lot. So, ibig sabihin, you're inhaling carbon dioxide. You know what happens with fisher towns? Ako, I know this because I used to have, dapat meron akong project with BIFAR and Coast Guards, no? So, sa fisher towns, may mga tao doon nalulumpo at 16 years old. Kasi they use air compressor to breathe underwater. So nalulumpo sila. So very damaging yun, lack of oxygen. So kaya dangerous din talaga yung mask na yan. So pwede may demanda sila, no, as unfair labor practice. Pero not as a grave coercion yet. Kasi una, umalis ka na doon. Pangalawa, nag-comply ka. Sumunod ka. Hindi,
Kasi we have nagkaroon ako admin hearing about the case sa situation ko. Bakit hindi lang ako kinausap on that day? Bakit pinaalis ako? Ayun, lipat ko. I-ask ko sa manager ko during the HR hearing. Then sabi niya na parang bakit hindi ko daw siya pina-follow yung sinasabi niya. Ganun, sinasabi ko din na ang hirap kasi dapat kahit na mahirap daw, trabaho ko yun sabi niya. Dapat i-follow ko talaga siya. Ayun.
Di ba may booth naman kayo? When you call center, di ba may sarili kayong cubicle?
In that place, wala kaming
Wala kayong separation?
just only, for example, this cubicle, there's no bar here.
Oo. Pero nakaharap ka naman sa monitor, di ba? Supposedly.
Yes, sa monitor, but we have distance kasi na din.
May distance naman.
Yes po, ayun.
So very unreasonable yung ginawa niya, di ba? So that's unfair labor practice already. So pwede sila maging liable yung company for your loss of earning capacity, earning potential, no? Yung time na nawala ka ng work. Pwede mo silang pagbayaran for that, for damages. You don't need a lawyer for that. You can go to the NLRC or labor, no? File complaint, checklist lang din yan. You don't need a lawyer sa labor. No, I tell these things kasi important, alam niyo yan na may mga bagay na hindi niyo kailangan mag-hire ng lawyer. Siyempre sasabihin ng lawyer, ordinary lawyer na kailangan yung lawyer dyan, kailangan yung lawyer dyan. No. Kasi once you have that mentality na iisipin mo lahat ng gala mong kilos na legal, kailangan mo ng lawyer, mawawalan ka na ng gana to fight for your right. So, yun yung importance nito, no? Kaya natin dinesign tong strategy na to, yung grave coercion, because you don't need me or any lawyer to hire a lawyer to do it. Any crime, pwede nyo i-file even without a lawyer. You just have to report it sa police or whatever para ma-file yun. So, ganon. So, in that case, sa labor, hindi mo kailangan ng lawyer dyan. Pwede kang magreklamo dun. So, they'll be liable for damages. Okay. Ayan. Clear? Clear na? Question? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nag-refuse yung company prosecutor.
Nag-refuse.
Nag-refuse.
mo i-refile. Usually kasi magre-refuse siya if he doesn't see the elements of the crime. So, yung grave coercion. So, he has to see the elements of the crime na if the elements are there, present, malinaw na case yun for grave coercion. Although it happens na hindi magre-refuse yung mga prosecutors for whatever reasons, na legal or extra-legal na reason, it happens. You refile it again and hopefully it pumatak siya sa ibang prosecutor.
There are several prosecutors in
Yes. Or pwede mo idiretso sa court. Kung halimbawa, you don't believe na yung prosecutor, and the court will refer it na, oh, it's a case. So, prosecutor, you have to hear it na. Okay, pwede na iutos yun ng court na sa prosecutor's office na, oh, this is a case, no? Dapat yan na siya. So, pero normally, prosecutor, okay yan. They will just have to make you take the oath, no? Para doon na kasi inonotary yan sa prosecutor's office eh. Yun din yung solution doon kasi if you file a civil case or if you file it directly to the court, kailangan nyo pa ipanotarize yan before you bring it to the court, no? Pero kapag pag sa prosecutor's office, sila na mismo yung magnonotarya. Wala na namang bayad, nakatipid na naman po tayo. So, yun po yung naging strategy dyan. So, yun. Any other? Okay na ba? Ano yes dyan?
Sa mga other, the recent, di ba wala na akong ECQ every
Sa alert na, alert.
sa alert. So, yung no vaccine, no entry, let's say malls or restaurants or whatever, those are private spaces. So they have the right to enforce.
Yes. Unfortunately, it doesn't apply, no? Yung constitutional rights doesn't apply to private establishments except kung nagiging criminal yung ginagawa nila. Okay. So, ganun. So, that's the unfortunate part, no? Private establishment. So, the best thing, boycott, no? So, lagi nga sasabi nga sa mga kausap ko, nung pinanganak ka naman, hindi naman yan kasama doon sa nagpaanak sa'yo. So, hindi kayo dapat mag-worry kung hindi kayo magkaroon ng access to whatever establishment, no? It means they're evil. Although, I think the protocol only is yung hindi ka lang pwede mag-dine in. Pero kung wala sa protocol, you cannot enter. If you cannot enter, that's a different thing. Okay, why? Hindi naman pinagbawal yun ng law. So, it becomes discriminatory. So, nagiging grave coercion pa rin yun kasi pinipigilan ka to do things. Especially if the establishment is public. Ibig sabihin, it's like a mall or like a hotel na pwede naman pumasok anybody, no? Dapat, supposedly, because it's a private space, a public space. Even it's a private ownership, it's a public space. No, unlike yung office talaga, like this is, meron silang, pwede ka mag-take out doon, di ba? Ibig sabihin, dapat accessible ka sa loob doon. So, yun. Pero the alert is only, not for the sa dine-in lang naman dapat yung restrictions eh. Pero kung halimbawa, ayaw ka nilang papasukin because you're unvaccinated, they're not following any law. So, there's no basis for those impositions. So, in that case, grave coercion pa rin yun. Kasi, nasa purpose nila yun eh. May purpose yung, when you open a corporation, no, meron kang sinasabi primary purpose, secondary purpose. So, kung sinabi nila doon, no, to provide hotel services to the public. So, the public eh. Kaya ganun din, nagkaroon din tayo ng grave coercion form sa transpo. Because in the transportation sector, halimbawa hindi kayo pwede pasakayin because unvaccinated ka, hindi pwede yun. Kasi they are issued a certificate of public convenience and necessity. Ibig sabihin, kaya binigyan ng lisensya to operate a public transportation is because there is a necessity of providing this service to the public. If you do not want to provide this service to the public, pwede lang tanggalin sa inyo yung permission to operate. So pwede silang patanggalan ng license to operate, and they're also committing grave coercion because they are legally bound to accept passengers. Yun. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to follow up my question. No? What if the court or the judge in the court does not discipline the prosecutor for not accepting? Both of them are in cahoots.
In cahoots.
So what can you do?
In in that case, pwede mo i-demanda naman yung prosecutor itself. Kasi kung malinaw siya, there's a case na parang dinidismiss na lang, no? You file a case against that prosecutor.
In another,
No, I think in the CSC, Civil Service, because he's not doing his job, or pwede mo siya ireklamo, yung halimbawa dismissal niya, pwede mong i-elevate sa DOJ because they're under the Department of Justice. So yun, so may mga recourse naman. So hindi naman tayo mauubusan ng ng recourse. So ganyan, no? So kaya ganyan yung naging route natin. Kaya naging legal yung route na ginawa natin. Kasi laging merong lulusutan, no? And prepare naman natin yung sarili natin kung whatever is the outcome, what's the next move, you know? We are prepared. Pero so far, ano pa lang, para kumbaga first to ammunition pa lang tayo. Marami tayong ammunition ready, pero sa first and second ammunition, taob naman yung kalaban eh. Kaya lang, yung ating grand, ay to be prepared, no? So kasi it's a mood setting. Mood setting talaga siya. Hindi siya pwedeng i-rush, otherwise, bakit hindi pwedeng i-rush? Yan yung unang tanong, no? Kasi usually nagiging tanong yan, especially in the first few months. Bakit hindi pa ma-file ngayon, ganyan. Kasi, if it is dismissed, it is damaging to us pag natalo siya. So yung magsasabi, hindi importante masama, kahit matalo, okay lang. Hindi po totoo yun. Pag natalo tayo, it's a precedent. Susundan niya ng ibang korte. Ibig sabihin, hindi na tayo mananalo sa mga eventual cases. Kaya very important yung pinakaunang yan. So, yun yung dahilan. Kaya baka sabihin, inisip ng iba, puro salita, ganyan, puro dada, wala mang ginagawa. Hindi po totoo yun. May perfect timing ang lahat ng bagay. Kahit bunga, hindi mo pwedeng pilitin sa hinog, otherwise maasim. Diba? Hindi pwedeng pilitin ng hinog. May hinog yan, may kusang oras yan. And who will be the best person to know that? Siyempre, sa legal, usapan legal, siyempre a lawyer will be in the best position to estimate kung ano. Kasi kahit naman in the meantime na you're understanding the grave coercion, may mga ginagawa naman behind the scene. I cannot expose everything, no, I will not lay all my cards. Kasi may mga kalaban tayo na hindi natin nakikita. Not the virus, pero mga infiltrators, whatever, no, they will destroy our moves. So hindi yun i-expose prematurely. So ganun. Yes.
in connection with this other moves, you were speaking dito actually the barangay assemblies.
Yes.
Can you give us a kind of legal guidelines to the process to the impact?
Barangay assemblies.
Ano ba?
Meaning you want to meet with the barangay and inform them of...
Yung idea ni Captain Bay kami mga barangay assemblies.
Hindi ako familiar dun sa idea, pero the way I catch it right now, he wants to parang educate these barangays. The problem with that is, okay siya kung maging successful siya, kaya lang, ang problem doon is, you are talking at a level na hindi rin nila alam yung pinag-uusapan. Even them are not well versed in the Constitution. So, it may result as a waste of energy. What is the best way to do it? The best way is to inform them by letter na lang. Bahala na sila kung makaka-catch up sila ng understanding or not. Kasi imagine, ilan lang tayo who are working, and then do we expect to meet all the, how many barangays? 80,000 barangays? 40,000 barangays? Hindi natin magagawa yun physically. Very impossible, no? And kulang ang lifetime siguro natin to meet all of these barangays. So, best is notify them to the letter na yung ginagawa natin, Sir Nick, no? Notify them, problema nila yung if they catch up or not, and then it becomes a proof of their liability, an evidence to an eventual court case. So, ganun, no? Ako kasi, I don't want to waste energies na parang futile. There's no judge who will decide kung sinong tama kasi mag-argument lang kayo eh, mag-aaway kayo eh. May pinaninindigan yan. May mga dahilan yan kung bakit Bakit nila pinaninindigan? Sabi na, utusan kami, or tanga lang sila, or meron silang sariling batas. It happens, no? Ganun talaga ang level niyan. Not to insult them, pero ganun talaga yung usual niyan. Hindi sila well-versed sa batas. Even, lalo na sa Mindanao, marami dyan hindi alam ang RA 11525, mga LGU. Sabihin pa nila, fake news yung RA 11525. So, can you imagine, just explaining the existence of something na existing naman talaga, waste of energy. So, what you do, give them a copy. Tapos ang usapan. Diba? Para walang argument kasi sayang yung energy. Especially if you're arguing not in front of a judge who will decide what is right and what is wrong once and for all. Kaya ako, as lawyers, no, we bring everything to the court as kung posible na masettle sa labas, tatapusin. Kaya lang, may mga situations na magiging repetitive yung exercise and sayang sa energy. You bring it to the court para yung judge ang magde-decide. Okay. Yan, Sir Nick. Any other? Ito si ano muna, si Brian muna para yung mga bago. Yes.
Sa amin po kasi sir, may complaint po yung, especially yung LGU po namin na magaling ka sa mga high-risk areas, cities, just like galing po kami sa Manila, and may complaint po na ipa-quarantine. And if wala po kaming symptoms and may saliva test, possible pa po ba, how can we defend ourselves po na hindi na po magpa-quarantine?
Sabihin mo, dumaan ka lang ng airport, hindi ka naman tumira dito sa Manila. Dumaan ka, syempre doon ang airport sa Manila, di ba? Dumaan ka ng airport, so it's not a high-risk area ang pinanggalingan mo. Let's say, galing ka sa Batangas, pero syempre ang airport is in Manila. So dumaan ka lang and you don't have any symptoms, cannot compel you. It's a labanan siya ng facts. So, labanan siya ng kwento. Paano ba naka-monitor ka ba? May body cam ka ba para alam na kung saan ka nag-stay? I mean, siyempre, labanan ng ano yan, ng facts. Kung hindi nagtutugma yung ordinance nila with your facts, doesn't happen, no? Ayun, and yes, ma'am.
Additional lang po,
Opo.
if, dahil po as a municipality na gano'n po may ordinance and na kailangan sunod, tapos pipilitin po kami na kailangan i-quarantine kami kasi galing kami sa Manila. Then my question po is how we could able to defend our right and our resistance na pwede hindi kami i-quarantine.
Sabi mo, galing ka sa Bulacan, dumaan ka lang ng airport ng Manila, tapos hindi ka huminga nung buong sa Manila ka. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, mukha siyang tanga na explanation, pero wala silang magagawa. Yun ang explanation mo eh. I mean, sabi mo sa Bulacan, tapos wala naman ako nararamdaman, ba't mo ako, gusto mo lang akong gumastos. Kaya mo ako gustong i-swab, i-quarantine. Kung ika-quarantine mo naman ako, that's illegal detention because you have no basis, no, to impose quarantine on me, especially kasi yan, nag-i-impose sila ng mga ordinance, protocol, pero may guidelines yan dapat eh. No? For example, ika-quarantine ka nila if you have, let's say, close contact with somebody positive, o kaya you have notifiable symptoms. Ibig sabihin yung na-notice na kita, inuubo ka, nilalagnat ka, mahirap din na yun. Inuubo ka. Kung inuubo ka, sabihin mo, nasamid ako eh. Pwede namang masamid siguro, no? Pero nilalagnat ka, medyo mahirap yan. Magligo kang alcohol para pag inaano ka. So, labanan siya ng facts, no? Labanan siya ng totoong nangyari. And ikaw naman nakakaalam kung ano nangyari. Kung kaya mong panindigan na sabi mo, hindi ako tumunta talaga sa high-risk area. Hindi siya high-risk dahil alert level ang meron. Granular lockdowns. Ibig sabihin, hindi lahat ng area dito high-risk. Otherwise, lahat to ni-lockdown. You understand? So, ganun mo siya i-argue. Hindi ka punta doon sa area na lockdown eh. Doon ka sa area na hindi high risk eh. Especially sabi mo, nasa Bulacan ako doon eh. It's a private area na malaking private area na ganun lang, dumaan ka lang ng Manila. Diba? Ngayon, hanap ka, saan yung proof mo na Wala akong proof. Bibitbitin ko lahat? I mean, diba? So, ganun siya. For example ako, if I go to areas na even during lockdowns, nakapunta ako sa area, what do? Hindi ko lagi in-impose na, dahil alam ko batas, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yan sa lahat ng tao, no? It's arrogant, no? Arrogant yon. You have to be smart. Paano? Bago pumunta sa lugar na yun, mag-isip ka ng barangay na nandun sa lugar na yon. O, taga saan pumunta? Santo Niño. Hindi mo na sasabihin barangay kasi obvious yun eh. Barangay Santo Niño. Dahil sa Santo Niño, parang matik. Pati yung ID mo. Quezon City ID mo ah. Ay bakit? May bahay din ako dito. Nung pandemya, lumipat na ako ah. Ganun siya. And it works ah. It works siya. So, style-stylean din siya. Oo. Hindi, I mean, totoo yan, no? Kailangan kasi listo tayo, no? Hindi tayo lang book smart na because alam natin yung law. Dahil doon lang tayo kikilos. You have to move, no? Alam mo naman eh, tama eh. So, kailangan mo lang, yun. Ito lang sasabi ni Sir Nick, no? Kanina, meron tayong framework na sinusundan. May mga strategies tayo. Ikaw na yung bahala kung paano. May mga detours, pero alam mo kung saan ka babalik eh. So, kung magkaipitan man, alam mo naman na may grave coercion na mangyayari. Pero kung hindi mo naman kailangan laging i-impose yan, ano? Pwede ka mag-detour. So, yun na nga, gawa ka ng excuse, whatever. It happens, no? So, for example, yung sa kanya, nakamas. Sabi niya, inuubo siya. Alam mo, ubuhan niya yung sarili niya. I mean, it's dangerous, no? Ubuhan mo yung sarili mo. O kaya, hinihiga ka na. Alam mo, gumas ka. Magpapaalam ka pa ba sa supervisor mo bago ka huminga? Hindi ka na makahinga eh. Alam mo yun? So, abusive yung nangyaring ganun sa kanya. So, ganun siya. So, huwag kayong matakot to be creative. It's part of our humanity to be creative. Binibigyan lang tayo ng tools and it's up to us on how we will use it, no? How we will be creative around it or with it, ganyan. Gets mo ba? Okay ha? Oh, yes. Sino pa ba? So, ayan, yes ma'am.
Wala. Sir, kasi one of our participants, hindi pinapasok sa airport. Gawa ng ang taas ng temperature.
Ayun na nga. When it comes to that, mahirap yun talaga. Pag gaganda na situation, mahirap. Kasi nga, you have the noticeable or notifiable na symptoms.
Wala bang yung parang di ba, iba't ibang body temperature talaga.
Hindi siya eh. That is, strict na yung science dyan. Huwag yung sa ganyan, sa temperature. Ano yan eh, may pagkakatangahan, no? I mean, I'm sorry, no? Kasi syempre, alam mo naman yung mga bagay na you have to prepare yourself for something. You do not go to battle na unarmed, no? Or injured. You don't do that. Otherwise, parang nagpakamatay ka lang talaga. Diba? So you don't do that. If you do that, ikaw nagsiset up sa sarili mo for danger. Maling-mali yun on his part. Mali yun.
Forced quarantine, even if it's necessary, can they trigger that by challenging the quarantine?
Yes. Yes. Yung sa quarantine, hindi siya, kapag unnecessary, ibig sabihin, you do not, answer ko lang po Hello, ma. Oo, tatapusin lang to. Sige, oo. Ayaw naman, aga naman ako eh. Sige, bye. Sorry, nanay ko. Ayan. Yung sa quarantine kasi, dalawa yan yung sa quarantine. Okay. Bago kayo i-quarantine, pag i-force kayo i-quarantine, that is grave coercion. Especially kung walang basis. Kailangan may basis bago kayo i-quarantine eh. So, lalabanan nyo yung facts na bibintangan nila. Labanan ng facts yan, no? So, bago kayo i-quarantine, pag pipilitin kayo i-quarantine, grave coercion. Pag bigla kayong kinarantine at walang basis, that's illegal detention. Mas mabigat naman yon. Ngayon, kung halimbawa may basis ang quarantine, pero lumagpas sa 10 days, after the 10th day, illegal detention na po yun. So, pwede kayo lumabas, halimbawa 10th day, with or without the swab test. Kung problema nila yun, kung hindi nila ginawa yun, no? Hindi nila pinerform yung testing. Kung ano man, antigen, swab, or whatever sa live test. Kung hindi nila pinerform, hindi nyo na problema yun. But on the 10th day, especially kung wala naman kayong notifiable symptoms, lumabas na kayo. Pag pinilit kayo, grave coercion. Pag kinulong uli kayo, illegal detention. Patong-patong yung parami ng parami. Kaya don't worry. Yung harassment nila, every harassment is an additional grave coercion. Okay? Hindi yung parang tuloy-tuloy lang yan. Halimbawa, kino-urge kayong mag-swab, one count yun ng grave coercion. Tapos pinipilit kayong bumalik, another count of grave coercion yun. So, yung mga ganon. So, yan. What else? Yes, Linus.
Sir, may practice po sa gabi na, pag lumalabas po ang sabi, hindi na po kami nagmamaskara or patient. What if po, hinuli po kami ng police at pinulot po sa station nila? Mga ilang hours po nila kami parang yung pwede po i-hold bago po siya maging parang illegal detention.
Diyan kasi, dapat hindi kayo hino-hold. Dapat fina-fine lang kayo. So, pag hino-hold kayo dyan, kasi merong sinusunod na 12, 18, and 36 hours to become either illegal detention or arbitrary detention. Dalawa yan eh. Illegal detention kung walang case, walang crime na nangyari, walang basis. Arbitrary detention kung may basis pero hindi na i-file. Okay. So, I think yung sa mask kasi is a minor thing, no? Pag lumagpas dapat hindi lumagpas ng 12 hours, pero dapat nga hindi at all eh. Dapat titikitan lang dapat kayo dyan. Wala dapat ng holding na nangyari dyan. Pero, mahirap i-prove yung sa dahil hinold ka, no? Kasi sasabihin lang, it's not an arrest. Hindi siya naging arrest eh. So, medyo offshoot siya. Tama ka, may illegal na nangyari doon, kaya lang mahirap siya i-prove. Kaya hindi natin ini-explore gaano kasi baka mamaya mas mahirap pa i-prove kaysa, alam mo yun, mas madali na lang yung other way. Ayun. Meron pa ba? Meron pang... Yes, ma'am.
Hindi ko kasi sa amin yung barangay namin, sobrang higpit po. Tapos, may nangyari po kasi na parang yung kapatid ko, na minor, lumabas siya, tapos nahuli. Tapos, pag bumatayin po kami ng 2,000, if hindi po kami magbalik ng 2,000, yung guardian po namin yung pwedeng i-hold dun sa barangay.
Okay. Ganito. Na may penalty na may multa na 2,000. There has to be an ordinance for that, no? Kung walang ordinance na nag-impose ng penalty, hindi pwede. No? Hindi kasi pwede. Kasi nga, tatlong sa government kasi, it's either judiciary ka, ibig sabihin judge ka, or it's either legislative ka, tagagawa ka ng batas, or executive ka. Ibig sabihin, taga-execute ka, taga-implement ka lang. Usually sa barangay, taga-implement sila. So kung may barangay ordinance, kailangan may barangay ordinance muna na nagsasabi na may penalty. So hanapin mo yun. Asan yung ordinance nyo na nagsasabi may penalty kapag minor? Ngayon, pwede ba nila i-hold yung other person dahil sa minor? Hindi pwede. Hindi pwede. Pag ginawa nila yun, illegal detention yun, illegal arrest yun. Okay, hindi pwede yun. Ang problema kasi sa barangay, mga walang alam, mahirap kausap. Yan ang problema. Pag walang alam, mahirap kausap. Kaya ang ano mo yan, just inform them, tapos i-file the case sa court. Yan ang ano dyan. So, yun, yung gano'n mo. Kung halimbawa, tinakot nila yung bata, kung lumabas yan, mag-iiyak ang bata, takutin mo ng child abuse. Diba? Takutin mo ng child abuse. Kasi sufficient ba yun? Diba? Kung halimbawa, ma-stress yung bata sa ginawa mo. So, yun. So, maraming paraan. So, isa sa matter of being exploring, no? Kaya dapat magkaroon tayo ng attitude na yung keep on studying. Especially yung Constitution man lang sana. Kasi it's useful, no? Useful siya. Yes, sir.
This is a bit of a pivot, but would you have a creative strategy to reopening face-to-face classes in the entire country in the basis of mental health deterioration?
mga bata na nag-bloom because of online classes. Because it prevented bullying on their part. It happens, no? So, in my mind, it's not all evil. Yung sa merong mga bata kasi conducive to face-to-face at may mga batang conducive sa online. Although hindi siya ideal setting kasi syempre meron dapat may social skills yung mga bata. But if you want to, your child, no, to go to school na face-to-face, tapos i-require ng vaccination, pwede mong labanan. Not because of mental health, no? Kasi medyo bata pa yung country natin on understanding the importance of mental health. Pero, yung right to life lagi, right to life, pwede na right to education because malinaw yan sa Constitution, access to education. And we're also using their law mismo, yung law mismo ng country, yung RA 11525, na sinabi niya, vaccination cannot be a additional mandatory requirement for education. Okay, so if the school imposes that, it was because they were motivated by another thing. Usually, the principal were motivated by bonus if he's able to implement 100% vaccination to the population of his school. So usually ganun, mga evil motivations. Pero you can fight that, not with mental health kasi discussion niya na parehong may merit on both sides. Unlike constitutional rights, na malinaw lang, ito lang yun. Wala na tayong pag-argumentuhan. Okay. Yes, Jen.
Follow up to this question. Prior to the no vaccination, can we open schools with or without, without the requirement of the vaccination? So let's just say, hindi talaga pwede 7 years old, 8 years old, they're not allowed.
The only way to do it is if we dispel na-disprove na natin yung pandemic theory nila, yung propaganda nila. Otherwise, they'll be using police power, no? Para i-remain na close ang schools. So, kailangan malabanan siya yung propaganda na to ng government. So, there's no other way kasi it can be, police power pa rin siya.
Hindi pwede the kids need to be in school regardless of pandemic, yung mga ganun.
Hindi. Kasi, syempre, education and life. Mas primary yung life lagi. So, ayun yung magiging basis naman nila dyan sa argument nila, right to life to over education, Pwede namang ma-delay lang ng konti or you educated another way, like online. So, doon matatalo tayo dyan. Kasi, mas primary ngayon yung pinaglalaban nila over yung right na inilalaban natin.
But since we already have the proof that the virus does not exist, then we can tell that this pandemic is over.
We can only prove it kapag tinanggap na ng court. Not yung kasi it's an open argument pa siya right now. Wala pang decision na nangyari. To the minds of the public, hindi pa na-prove. So, pero if it's the court who decides, it's proven. That's the importance of the judiciary. It ends all discussions. Once it is decided by the court, it ends the arguments already. Any other question? Last one? Okay naman, naging malinaw ba? Sino Yes, ma'am.
We invoke yung sinasabi ng Constitution na the right to life dun sa forced vaccination nila sa mga minors.
Of course.
Could a third party could file a case. Let's say tayo, against dun sa kagustuhan na yun ng parents na pabaksin nila yung anak nila.
Usually, ang naging strategy naman natin dyan is we notify the DSWD kasi may mga priorities yan. Una, primary care is in the parents. After that, ang magiging substitute kasi either the grandparents pero not the stranger. Ang magiging rule ng stranger is invoke the duty of the DSWD. It's the DSWD who should protect the minors. So you invoke it. So what happens? No? Invoke mo siya, sabi mo, ito, yung minor, gusto ma-vaccinate ng parents against the will of the minor. Kung against the will of the minor, two ways. Pwede sabihin ng DSWD, you are committing child abuse. No, posible siya maging child abuse. Meron kasi akong ano dyan, kaya lang, ang problem mo naman dyan, dalawa yan sila eh. May lumapit sa akin minor, 13 years old. Nilista siya ng father niya at gusto pa siya i-disown if hindi siya mag-vaccinate because yun yung tinuturo ng church nila. Okay. Sabi ko sa kanya, do you want your... I can stop it if you want. Paano? DSWD. We will file a child abuse case against your parents. Yun naman yung pinakamalaking challenge. Ayaw nila makulong yung parents nila. But the state can always intervene if it thinks that the child is put into danger. So as strangers, pwede natin silang i-report sa DSWD that they're committing child abuse. So para magkaroon ng under investigation, teka, yung ginagawa na. So hopefully, yung social worker na makausap mo believes in our cause and lalabanan niya. Otherwise, kung kasama siya sa propaganda, it's a lost cause. So yun. Pero yun yung mga pinakamalaking challenge, no? Yung walang willingness yung tao to stand up for his own right, to assert his right. And tsaka yung sa, when it comes to family, yung minors, ayaw nila makulong yung parents nila eh. So yun yung mga challenge dyan. So kaya yung ginagawa ni Sir Nick, very important po yun. Because it puts to light who is liable eventually. No, syempre, lagi sasabi natin, kulang tayo sa time, pero that is nature. Wala tayong magawa, no? It runs even if ayaw nating umandar yung time. Ganon din yan na gusto natin masave lahat, pero we cannot do that. We can only do small things at a time. Hindi pwedeng pilitin. Yun. Okay, sana nakatulong